What's up, guys? Thanks for joining me on part 3 of restoring this GY6 Maxxam 150-2R Buggy. This time, we finally get it started. Brakes aren't working. You can't slow down. The tires are dry rotted, so they could kind of blow at any second. And I think if I were to take it out right now, I think it'd probably be premature and honestly a little reckless.
5 minutes later.
Hello. So just got a box of parts in from Amazon. Went ahead and stopped by local General Family Dollar. Got us some fuel cleaner. Went ahead and got some oil so we can go ahead and put some oil back in here. The Maxxam magazine or the operator's manual recommends 10W40 for the oil change. So I went in and got a couple quarts of that. I've got the replacement air filter. I have the spark plug. I have the replacement spark plug, which is here. The master brake cylinder, which is here. And an ignition with key. And some bolts for the brake cylinder. So hopefully we can go ahead, and I'm probably gonna just go ahead and put the engine components back together, replace those, get this battery, also ordered an Amazon battery, charging, and maybe if we're lucky we'll get this thing started up today. So, all right, let's go ahead and replace these parts, get this battery charging, and let's see if we can get this thing to turn over, or we find out that the engine is seized. So hopefully that's not what we find out. All right, let's see if we can get this spark plug out. So it's located right here below the carburetor, and it is a 5/8. Okay, pretty loose. Well, I mean, not loose, it was just not excessively tight like you would expect something this old to be. There it is. Doesn't look too bad. This one is the replacement. It's an MGK. Nice and snug. And then put that bad boy right back on. Okay. Go ahead and replace this air filter while we're here. Okay. So now that I got that spark plug in and the air filter installed, I'm gonna go ahead and probably stick that new switch in and add some oil in this thing while the battery's still charging. It's only about 87%, but I'm sure it's gonna need all the juice it can get for the first time starting in a while. So let's go ahead and put this switch in, which should be pretty simple. It's like a quick disconnect cable, like majority of the stuff on here, but as you can see, it just unscrews like this, then it pops right out. There we go. There's my new keys. and the new switch. Let's go ahead and disconnect this old one first, which is just like all the other things. There's like a slight pin or clip that you just have to depress. Simply line the keyway up with the keyway and the engine panel or the ignition panel. That's pretty much it. Looks like you could tighten it further with like a spanner wrench. I don't have a spanner wrench, so you can use like a screwdriver and a hammer and kind of just tap it around till it tightens. But that's pretty much all we need to do. So if you guys recall, the last time I was cleaning out that fuel tank and ended up using some white vinegar, baking soda, like Happy Badger suggested. And this is what we ended up with. So you can see all that soot and stuff in the bottom. Partially probably baking soda that's not dissolved. And the other part is just that sludge and stuff that was in the bottom of the gas can. There's still some large pieces in there, but I'm probably just going to flush it out one more good time. And then I think we're gonna rock on with it. When it comes down to it, I mean, you have the fuel filter, and the fuel filter with the shutoff, it actually sticks up like 3 inches from the bottom of the fuel can. So all that sludge, as long as it's stuck to the can, isn't actually going to be entering the fuel system. I think best case scenario would be to have a brand new can, but I'm gonna rock on with that one. Hopefully I don't regret that decision later on, but I guess we're gonna find out. So let's see what we gotta do to take this battery off. I'm trying to see if there's any sort of clamping device holding this thing down. Oh, nope. It just hasn't been moved in a while. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing securing this battery. Ah. So literally the battery cable is so corroded, it literally just ripped off in my hands. That sucks. That's all right. We've got terminals. We can crimp some new ones on, but should have known it wasn't going to be a quick and easy one. This one's so corroded, I'm probably just going to cut the other side too and just say screw it. Just put new terminals on both sides. Man, the corrosion is rough, bro. Bruh. I don't know if you can see this. Let's see, can you see? Yeah. Like it literally just snapped off right here. Corrosion is horrible. Same with this one. So let's get some new terminals, new battery, and get this thing done right. I have to cut this even further back because it's so much corrosion. Jeez, dude. I'm wondering if I just need to replace the cable. So corroded. Finally got to a part where it's, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not corroded. There's a little bit of corrosion, but it's not as bad as what was there. That's kind of all I'm willing to cut off of this thing. I mean, I could just cut it way down and splice in a new piece of cable, which is an option, but I think that's a worst case scenario option. I think I'll still get a good enough ground just based on the amount of wire I can see. All right, let's see if I got a terminal to fit this thing. This is an environmental lug, so I can put this on and then I can heat shrink it so it won't be as much corrosion. It's just so much corrosion that I can't, not able to get enough wires on both of these. let's get that battery. This thing is fully charged. Now all we have to do is put some oil back in this thing. Go ahead and probably gonna put a couple bolts in the rack just so I can mount the fuel tank. Put some gas in it, and I think we're gonna try to start this up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in a time lapse so that way you guys don't have to watch me put this thing back together. All right, so we got the gas tank on, got everything back on, and we're ready to start this thing up. However, I will say that I'm not 100% sure that fuel shutoff valve is working correctly. One of the packings looked like it was a little dry rotted, and I think if this thing ends up leaking fuel, then we're gonna have to shut it off, or maybe abort starting it all together until we can figure out some sort of alternative gas tank setup in the meantime. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and pour some fuel in this thing, check, make sure it's not leaking, and then I'm gonna try to start it up. So let's hope that all of this work over the last few weeks has not been for nothing, and we at least get a little bit of action when we got to turn this thing over. All right, so I came to the conclusion that I probably should check this shutoff valve before I install it back on the engine and make sure that the gas tank shutoff valve actually works, because as it stands currently, this valve is not working. I went ahead and blew some air through it into this valve to try to see if that fluid would come out, and it wouldn't. So this thing is clogged. I went ahead and pulled this tube off of it, and I'm just kind of trying to break loose some of this stuff on the inside, so that way I can just maybe break it enough to where I can clean it out and still be able to use it. As you can see, there's all kinds of like metal debris and stuff in there. So at this point, I'm really wishing I would have ordered another one of these because it's completely clogged. I'm trying really hard to get them fluid and stuff out of here, but it's not really working. I'm hoping I can at least get fluid moving enough so that way I can try to run it. But as it stands right now, I'm gonna have to order another one. I'm gonna keep trying to clean it and hopefully get it to where we can at least attempt to start this thing today. So cross your fingers, I guess. So I went ahead and put about a gallon of fuel in there. Moment of truth here. No starter fluid or anything, which is probably really dumb. Let's see what we got. I got nothing. Maybe this has to be neutral or something. Or maybe get to push the brake. So I got nothing. Let's look at the manual. I knew it wasn't gonna be that easy. All right, so we've replaced the spark plug, replaced the carb, replaced the ignition switch. So I guess my first thought is check and see if the ignition switch is allowing power. So turn on the lights and we got power to the lights. So got a good connection to the battery, at least enough to turn those lights on. But whenever I try to turn the engine over, I got nothing. So I double checked the manual, and there's not like you don't have to put it in any certain drive position or anything that I saw. I guess next step is check the solenoid. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the back cover off and see if we can jump the solenoid that way manually. In order to jump the solenoid, I've got the switch turned on in the front. And I have got the cover off, the metal cover, or the plastic cover from the electrical panel, and I'm gonna turn it so you guys can see exactly where the solenoid is. All right, so here is the starting solenoid for the Buggy, and a simple way to test this out is to take some sort of insulated screwdriver or something similar, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna short circuit these two wires here. Be very careful you're not touching anything metal or you're gonna shock yourself. All right, so that's good news for us. Turned over. Nice, okay. So that means, I'm not sure what that means. Good news is that it's trying to turn over. There's probably just something electrical with that ignition, the wires, or maybe the connections going to it that just aren't working the way we want it to. Either way, that at least helps us troubleshoot a little bit. Now, figure out what will be the next step. I think we could probably get it started this way, but I'm not sure that it's getting a lot of fuel still. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to spray some starter fluid in the carb. See if we can get it running that way. Still not getting anything. I really feel like it's because it's not getting any fuel. Yes, all right, so I just got this in from Amazon. It's a shutoff valve. Hopefully it fits. I'm gonna try to stick it on real quick and see if we can get this thing to start up now that it's getting some fuel. All right, so I just got that valve installed. We've got fuel now to the fuel filter. And here goes nothing, I guess. starter fluid again. I don't think I'm getting any spark. Kill switch. How do I bypass the kill switch? How do I bypass the kill switch? Oh man, I am so pumped. I am so pumped about that, dude. I cannot tell you how freaking pumped I am. All right, so something is wrong with the kill switch. So on the front of these models, I'll show you here. It's a big red button that's got 2 wires. I'm going to show you here. So for whatever reason, either this switch is faulty or what, because all I did was literally unplug this kill switch here. And now we've got power. Now we're getting a spark to the spark plug. Now she's firing up. Man, I'm so pumped. All right, so I'm going to turn the engine back on. Yep, there. I wonder if the key will start now. Nope, key still doesn't work. Oh well, who cares? We're getting progress, making progress. All right, so I'm gonna hit it again. Oh, she fired right up, dude. She fired right up. I love it. I mean, it hasn't been started probably 10 years. So what's up, everybody? So we are here this weekend, and we're gonna pick up where we left off. I haven't ran this thing in probably about several days, 3 or 4 days, and see if we can go ahead and get this thing to fire up again. All right, so we got fuel, battery chargers on it. See if we can get it to fire up. Maybe we can start adjusting this idle screw. See what we got. There we go. Love it. she's running. Got her running. Stays running, cranks up first try. I just wish today wasn't such a dreary day. And I just gotta fight and resist the temptation to take this thing out because the brakes aren't working. You can't slow down. The tires are dry rotted, so they could kind of blow at any second. And I think if I were to take it out right now, I think it'd probably be premature and honestly a little reckless.
5 minutes later.
Not to mention that I did all that during a tornado warning. Well, it shut off on me. And it won't start again. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe so you can see the next part where I get into some of these electrical issues that are plaguing this GY6 Buggy. All right, until next time, take care.